Welcome to MMS Stories. Get ready to dive into a world of mystery and excitement. Imagine a stormy night, with rain pouring heavily on the windows of an isolated mansion. Lightning flashes illuminate the grand manor in eerie bursts, while thunder echoes through its ancient halls. Inside, the atmosphere is thick with tension and whispers of old secrets. Join Detective Zara Yousuf, the brilliant and determined investigator, as she unravels the chilling mystery behind the sudden death of Lady Eleanor, the matriarch of the enigmatic Ebon family. As Zara delves into the dark corridors of the manor, she uncovers a web of deceit, where each character has their own motives and dark past, making every twist in this story more thrilling than the last. With the storm raging outside, the tension inside the manor reaches its peak. Can Zara uncover the truth before it's too late? Follow along as we take you on a journey through the shadowy halls of Ebon Manor, where every corner hides a clue, and every character has something to conceal. Don't miss this cinematic adventure. The following story is a work of fiction. The characters, events, and locations mentioned are entirely the product of the author's imagination. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, or real events is purely coincidental. This story is a figment of the author's imagination. The night was heavy with rain, the storm raging against the old, towering Ebon Manor. Lightning flashed, illuminating the grand estate in ghostly light, while thunder echoed through its ancient halls. Inside, the air was thick with tension and the whispers of old secrets. Detective Zara Yousuf arrived at the manor, her trench coat soaked, and her hat tilted to keep the rain from her eyes. She was renowned for her sharp mind and unyielding determination. The call had come in just hours before. Lady Eleanor, the wealthy matriarch of the Ebon family, had been found dead in her study, seemingly poisoned. Zara was greeted by the butler, an elderly man named Edgar, whose face was lined with years of service. Detective Yousuf, thank you for coming so quickly. This way, please. She followed Edgar through the dimly lit corridors, lined with portraits of stern ancestors, their eyes seeming to follow her every move. The manor was a labyrinth of history and wealth, every corner hiding a tale of its own. They entered the study, a large room dominated by a grand desk and shelves filled with leather-bound books. Lady Eleanor lay slumped in her chair, her lifeless eyes staring into the void. The room was eerily silent, save for the sound of rain tapping against the windows. Who discovered the body? Zara asked, her voice steady as she examined the scene. The maid? Marjorie, Edgar replied. She was bringing Lady Eleanor her evening tea. Ed, Zara nodded, her eyes scanning the room for any clues. A delicate teacup lay shattered on the floor, and the scent of bitter almonds lingered in the air, a telltale sign of cyanide. She noticed a letter opener on the desk, its blade stained with a few drops of blood. I need to speak with everyone present in the house, Zara said, turning to Edgar. Please gather them in the drawing room. As Edgar left to summon the others, Zara continued her examination. The desk drawers were locked, but a keychain hung from Lady Eleanor's belt. She took the keys and unlocked the drawers, finding a stack of letters, financial documents, and a small, ornate box. Inside the box were vials of various medications, one of which was missing. With the evidence collected, Zara made her way to the drawing room. The storm outside had intensified, the wind howling like a restless spirit. The inhabitants of the manor were already assembled, the ambitious heir, Richard, the secretive maid, Marjorie, the disgruntled business partner, Mr. Hargrove, and the mysterious guest, a man named Sam who had arrived unannounced the previous day. Thank you all for gathering, Zara began, her gaze sweeping over the group. As you know, Lady Eleanor has been found dead, and I suspect foul play. I will need to speak with each of you individually. She started with Richard, the heir. He was a tall, stern man in his mid-30s, his face marked by a perpetual frown. Detective, I assure you, I had nothing to do with my mother's death. We may not have always seen eye to eye, but I would never harm her. What can you tell me about the recent events leading up to her death? Zara asked. Richard sighed, rubbing his temples. There have been tensions regarding the family estate. Mother was very secretive about her will. Mr. Hargrove has been pressuring her to sell some of our assets to cover debts. And then there's Sam. He showed up out of nowhere, claiming to be an old acquaintance. Thank you, Richard. Please wait outside, Zara said, motioning for the next person. Marjorie, the maid, entered, her eyes red from crying. I don't know what happened. Detective, I found her like that when I brought her tea. Have you noticed anything unusual recently? Any arguments or strange behavior? Zara asked gently. Lady Eleanor was very stressed. She had been receiving strange letters, and she often argued with Mr. Hargrove and Richard. And Sam, he gave me the chills. He's been lurking around, asking too many questions. Next was Mr. Hargrove, a portly man with a sour expression. Detective, this is a waste of time. Lady Eleanor was stubborn and foolish. She refused to sell assets that could have saved us all from financial ruin. Did you have any personal grievances against her? Zara inquired. Of course not. My grievances were purely business. I wanted what was best for the company, even if she couldn't see it. Finally, Sam entered, his demeanor calm and collected. He was in his 40s, with sharp features and piercing eyes. Detective Yousuf, I understand your suspicion, but I assure you, I'm here for personal reasons. And those reasons are? Zara pressed. Lady Eleanor and I, we had a past. I've only recently discovered I might be her illegitimate son. I came to confront her, to understand why she abandoned me. Zara's mind whirred with the information. Each suspect had a motive, but something about Sam's story didn't add up. She decided to explore the manor further, searching for any hidden passages or secret rooms that might provide more clues. The storm raged on as she explored, the thunder masking her footsteps. In the library, she noticed a peculiar gap in the bookshelves. Upon closer inspection, she found a hidden latch. Pulling it, the bookshelf swung open to reveal a narrow passage leading down into the darkness. With her flashlight in hand, Zara descended into the hidden passage. The air grew colder, the walls lined with cobwebs. At the end of the passage, she found a small, dimly lit room filled with old furniture and dusty crates. Among them, a desk covered in papers and vials, similar to those in Lady Eleanor's study. One particular document caught her eye, a letter from Lady Eleanor addressed to my beloved Sam. It spoke of regret and a promise to make things right. Zara's heart pounded as she realized the significance of the letter. Sam was indeed Lady Eleanor's son, but his intentions were far from noble. Returning to the drawing room, Zara called everyone back together. I've discovered something important, she announced, holding up the letter. Sam, you are Lady Eleanor's son. But this isn't just about family. The room fell silent, eyes wide with shock. Sam, you poisoned your mother. Zara continued, her voice steady. You sought revenge for a lifetime of abandonment. The letter was meant to lure you back, but instead, you used it as an opportunity for vengeance. Sam's calm facade cracked, his eyes narrowing. You think you're clever, detective? Yes, I wanted revenge, but you have no proof. Zara stepped forward, her eyes locking onto his. The hidden passage leads to a room filled with evidence. The missing vial, the letters, your fingerprints, they all point to you. In a last-ditch effort, Sam lunged at Zara, but she was ready. With a swift move, she dodged his attack and restrained him, the storm outside reaching its peak, as if nature itself was reacting to the dramatic confrontation. The authorities arrived shortly after taking Sam into custody. The storm began to subside, the first rays of dawn breaking through the dark clouds. As Zara stood on the steps of Ebon Manor, watching the sunrise, she felt a sense of closure. Lady Eleanor's secrets had been revealed, justice had been served, and the storm had passed, both outside and within the manor's walls. Detective Zara Yousuf had once again proven her prowess, uncovering the truth hidden within the shadows of Ebon Manor. Thank you, dear Hudhud channel followers. We will be happy if you subscribe to the channel, like the story, share it, and comment on it.